Hello, welcome to the Group V presentation about emotional intelligence. We are myself Riku, Hkawn, Robin, Chris, and Samuel. Let me start the introduction of emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence? This is a set of abilities to perceive and express emotion, assimilate emotion in thought, understand and reason with emotion, and regulate emotion in oneself and others. In other words, it is the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use the information to guide one's thinking and actions. Then, why is emotional intelligence so important? Whether or not you are working a full-time job, we all are living in socially constructed society. Without the ability to function well within this relational environment, it's doubtful how far intelligence alone will get you. Especially, workplaces are typically a melting pot of different personalities, skills, strengths, and emotions. So, your work life can be hugely affected by your emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is a way of recognizing and understanding people's feelings and being aware of how we think, feel, and act towards others that shape our interaction with others and understanding of ourselves. In this emotional intelligence theory, there is 4 characteristics such as self-recognition, self-regulation, social recognition, and social regulation. Self-awareness is being aware of oneself and identifying own strengths and weaknesses as a person or a leader. It is to understand our feeling and other people's feeling when interacting with people. Self-management is self-control, which is being in control of your words and action. You can be in charge of your action. Social awareness is important when socializing with people or interacting with people in a workplace. Socially aware is ability to recognize other person's emotion and able to understand other people's point of view. Social skill is influence, inspiration, and collaboration towards a group. For example, a leader who has a social skill are a good communicator, and he can create motivation and inspiration throughout the team. And to be able to understand emotional intelligence, there's 4 branches, which can be identified emotional intelligence. Perceiving emotion is the capacity to accurately perceive emotion. Using emotion to facilitate thinking is the capacity to utilize emotion to guiding cognitive process. Understand emotion is being able to understand emotional message. Managing emotion is promote personal understanding, and emotion can be managed as well.
In Daniel Goleman's model 1998, he identifies emotional intelligence as an ability rather than a trait that can be learned, developed, and measured. According to Goleman 1998, one's potential for learning emotional competencies can be decided by the general emotional intelligence one born with. He also mentioned in his theory that leadership performance can be driven by emotional intelligence competencies and skill, which consists 5 areas. The first one is self-awareness, meaning know someone's emotions, strengths, weakness, and drives. The second one is self-regulation, manage or redirect one's disruptive emotions. Third one is social skill, manage other emotions to move people in the desired direction. Empathy, recognition, and understanding of other people's feeling. The last one is motivation, motivate oneself to achieve for the sake of achievement. Emotional intelligence is the intelligent use of emotions. It is a crucial factor that contributes to how well people handle stress, work well with others, and make smart decisions and effective, successful business outcomes. EI as an ability that can be developed as we talked before, Based on a Johnson & Johnson study, EI can be developed through systematic training. The outcomes of emotional intelligence training program can be found among financial advisors, retail managers, HR consultants, occupations that it involves human interactions. As part of the result of the EI training program at workplaces, positive impact on individual and organizational performance and effectiveness have been found as part of the result.
The case study that we have chosen to do is the development of emotional intelligence within the Victorian Police Department. The development of emotional intelligence has quickly become a very important characteristic for members of the Victorian Police workforce to have. The Victorian Police requisitioned the Langley Group to pilot an emotional intelligence program. The Langley Group are Australian pioneers of emotional intelligence development programs, working with a wide variety of organisations in fields such as law enforcement, the tech industry, the business sector, and tertiary education providers. This program was made specifically for police officers in the Major Crime Unit and the Highway Patrol Unit. The police in these areas were found to be under immense emotional stress, which led to lost time, high volumes of stress claims and incident reports, potential substance abuse, and negative impacts on their personal lives. Police officers obviously have a job with a high potential for emotional disruption. Kumarasamy et al. States that for a police officer to manage their work-life balance properly, it is important for them to enhance their emotional intelligence and implement organizational support policies. In the Langley Group's post-program impact surveys, there was a 96% satisfaction rate, with incident reports and stress claims at their lowest level in Victorian police history. The Victorian Police also worked with another organisation called Deacon Prime. Deacon Prime delivered a program to the Victorian Police comprising of 5 workshops over 12 months with intensive one-on-one coaching that focused on developing emotional intelligence. Currently, the Victorian Police recruitment website states that the second most highly rated personal attribute for a potential police officer to have is high levels of emotional intelligence, showing the importance this characteristic now has for this type of work.
In conclusion, there are many advantages of having and using emotional intelligence in the workplace. It helps individuals understand emotions and prevents harm to others, which reduces bullying and develops social effectiveness. Besides reducing bullying, it has been observed that people who have a significantly higher level of emotional intelligence are less likely to engage in self-destructive behaviors. This includes illegal drug use, excessive smoking and drinking, and violence. Emotional intelligence also helps decision-making much faster, as more data can be examined through an emotion. However, while there are many advantages of emotional intelligence, it has its fair share of disadvantages. Luckily, there are ways to improve it and use it for the right reasons, which I will be discussing in the next slide. While it helps make faster emotional decisions, it prevents people from using their critical thinking skills, as decisions become based only on their emotions, decreasing their logical thinking. It can be used for one's personal gain, as it has been used for manipulating others. Thus, it may benefit the individual with high emotional intelligence but be a detriment to the company. Finally, not everyone takes emotional intelligence seriously. Several individuals have poor emotional intelligence skills, and it takes a decent amount of time to develop a high EQ. However, many people tend to think that IQ is more important than EQ, and this is why there are many misinterpretations in the workplace, and people take others' information the wrong way. There are several techniques to enhance emotional intelligence in the workplace, such as thinking before acting, listening to what other people have to say and analyze their information, being more empathetic to others, and having a positive attitude to work and workmates. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.